Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Try again.
My Chinese overlords have been generous to me. Only 3 10 pulls after having expertly built up my pity beforehand. But that's not enough. It's never enough. I must have more. I want the spear too. After having built up my pity earlier, I managed to receive the spear after only 2 pulls. But I want more. Another ball. The first constellation. You may call me a whale, but now I've got 2 balls and the spear firmly in my grasp. Who's laughing now? Okay, maybe Scar does have a point. This video is sponsored by Red Shoes in the Wood Bear World. Based on the popular anime movie, Red Shoes and the 7 Dwarfs, this casual action game provides fast and immersive roguelike action that you can pre-register for free today using my link in the description. The gameplay is easy to learn. Your younger brother can learn how to play. Your grandma can learn how to play. Even your dog can learn how to play, which is important because co-op mode lets you bring in a partner for jolly cooperation, whether they be your little brother, your grandma, or your dog. But even if you don't have a buddy, the 7 dwarves are there to be your buddies for you. There are 4 playable modes. Roguelike mode, where you beat up monsters and progress through stages, building your character up as you go. The world mode, where monsters spawn endlessly on the map for you to earn gear and rune shards. Co-op mode, where you play the game with your buddy. And lastly, boss raid mode is there for you to deal as much damage to the raid boss as possible for the best possible rewards. If you pre-register for the game's future release using my link below, you'll get 10,000 gold as well as the rune Arthur. Thank you Red Shoes and the Wood Bear World for sponsoring the video. And, explosion! If you think for a second that my decision-making skills are bad, then your judgment's pretty accurate because I dropped out of college. Yo! First things first, the new update's here, and now that I've got my balls to drop, I need to max everything out on her ASAP. Which means that the only appropriate thing to do now is to explore Saren Island. I'm on my way to collect those fruits. Of course though, there are a few small matters that distract me from my goal here. I mean, I may as well start exploring the island while I'm in the area. What's this? I think there's a tutorial for it, but I'm sure you know by now that reading is cringe. A real gamer will just jump around the thing for a while. And surely if I do the same thing over and over, something will eventually happen, right? Okay, maybe someone in the comments will tell me how it works. While I'm waiting for you to do that, I will keep exploring the area and do a few puzzles here and there in order to get my hands on some extra treasure. Uh-oh, it seems like someone's surrounded by monsters. You're right, Paimon, we should help them. Being the good Samaritan that I am, it's necessary that I leave her to fend for herself. Being forced to fight for your life builds character, and if I interfere, she won't receive the experience necessary to come out victorious in the event that she's in that situation again. She'll thank me later. Ah yes, I'm glad that the statue understands my generosity. Haha! You have been bamboozled. I already knew how to use these portals, and thus I found the perfect opportunity to get you to write a comment down below in order to farm engagement on my video. And speaking of engagement, while we're making our way downtown, behold this graph! If you look carefully, you'll see that only 0% of the people watching this video are subscribed to the channel, and that is not okay. And thus I humbly ask you to hit that subscribe button for my own benefit. And with that out of the way, let's explore the next. God does not look kindly upon sellout. As I'm exploring the island, I found this ship that comes paired with an interesting puzzle. When sword and halberd yada yada. You know there's only one combination where these sticks are all facing each other, right? You can throw puzzles at me all you want, MiHoYo. Just know that they are no match for me. This is simply a gym for my brain. Each riddle, 1 rep. Coming together to tear apart my thinking muscle by... Oh wait, you're supposed to match these. Tearing my thinking muscle by small increments until it becomes sore, and then I restart the process again. I am the most mentally I am a brain trainer, and once I randomly switch to Watatsumi Island, I can show how my hard work has paid off. Behold, the hardest puzzle in the game, but it's no match for me and my double-digit IQ. Watch as I solve this puzzle without even thinking about it, and just turn the totems until I randomly hit the right combination. No problem at all for the most mentally I explored Watatsumi Island for a bit because I didn't want to deal with the anti-fun zone on Saren Island, and eventually it gets to the point where I want to finally wrap up the main storyline since there's only so much I can write in the script without making the video too long. So, here we are. After an exciting trip through Inazuma, it's finally time for the conclusion to the main questline. Brace yourselves, there's massive spoilers here as things get wild. Previously, I arrived on Japan 2 and was introduced to the plotline where I discovered that the government was turning unique characters into generic NPCs. After saving Child 2 from this horrific fate, I became wanted by the government, so I went to the neighboring island to become part of the resistance, met General Furry, and with my incredible power, beat Kujo's army in a staring contest before Barbara 2 chases them away with bubbles. Now it's time to join the resistance and engage in an all-out war against the Raiden Shogun's army. There are important duties we must attend to. Barbara 2 rightfully puts me in charge of Swordfish 2, one of their most elite squadrons, which is a good thing, because if the devs wanted to make me climb up the ranks and earn my title through hard work, I would have no choice but to complain about it. I deserve to have everything handed to me for nothing, and I'm glad that MiHoYo recognizes that fact. I perform odd jobs for Swordfish 2 for approximately 10 minutes, and during that time I've been thinking to myself, you know how generic NPCs are fighting to protect vision bearers? Why is that? They literally have no reason to be here. Not a single NPC has given a legitimate reason as to why they're there. But then, I realized the truth behind it all. All these generic NPCs are just simping for Barbara 2, hoping to get her attention, and maybe, just maybe if they die for the cause, Barbara 2 might read their name on stream. Big if true. After I'm done with my chores, I learn that there's trouble. This is bad news. Apparently there's been a massive problem going on right under our noses. Not only is the Japan 2 government turning unique characters into generic NPCs, but the Fatui are doing something almost as terrifying. They're turning generic NPCs into boomers! And because they're simping so hard for Barbara 2, they don't even notice. This cannot go unpunished. After my good friend Tepe dies from being a boomer, man, I sure do care a whole lot, I hurry to the Fatui's boomer factory. Carefully evade all of their traps and find their leader, the Chandelier, who's able to defeat me by making me smoke copious amounts of Naku weed. But it's a good thing that we're saved by pink-haired Fox Girl, who decides to sweep the entire Resistance plotline under a rug and focus on having me fight the Raiden Shogun, or apparently there's 2 balls I'm supposed to crush. After an intense training session that lasted about 10 minutes, I'm now ready to go toe-to-toe with the god of eternity herself. For some reason though, pink-haired Fox Girl decided to invite Kujo to her house and forces me to go find evidence to prove that her family conspired against the Raiden Shogun. I go and find Lily Pichu, who's chilling in the woods, and force her to join me in my quest to find the evidence, but we need a distraction. I go see Fireworks Girl, who casually gives me a giant firework, no questions asked. Next, I plant it in front of the castle, but now it's time to get stealthy. If I'm not careful, the guards might see me, so it's best to circumvent them and jump off the ledge so I can...
I have orders to search for a one...
God damn it. Okay, you know what? I'll just take the long way. After I outsmart the guards by doing the most unexpected thing, running in plain sight, I meet up with Ayaya and Child 2. Yes, they're here for some reason. As well as Lily Pichu, who has the evidence that I need. What do you know? Kujo's family has been doing evil shenanigans. And I guess the Fatui are involved again too. Who would have guessed? I give the evidence to Kujo, who runs straight to her father to confront him. And we learn from him that Signora, the hot anime villain that I want to kick me like she did Venti earlier, is currently performing diplomations with the Raiden Shogun. So I follow them to Castle Japan 2, and I think Kujo's dead, since she does literally nothing else in the entire storyline. Wow, that whole story segment sure did matter a lot. Just like the Resistance segment. Man, now that I'm looking back at it, there were a lot of problems with the Zarkon quest, huh? But it doesn't matter. Now we're face to face with both Baal and Lost Signora, and because Inazuma needs a world boss, we have to fight Signora in a duel. Yes! Finally, like Child before her, I'm gonna defeat her in battle, then later I'll get to see her story quest where the writers show that she's actually a really caring person with an amazing personality. And then, MiHoYo will finally release her. It's time to start waiting and saving for her banner. Take my money, take my cat, take the US nuclear codes. Nothing matters as long as I get kicked by Lost Signora. After an intense fight, it's finally time to see Signora's redemption arc and witness the impact she'll leave on the story. Here it comes! Wait, what? There's no way. I literally had my credit card, the numbers on the front and the back, and the expiration date all ready to be thrown at my monitor. And MiHoYo just does that? To make things worse, Signora is practically a $1 billion character. Eliminating her is basically the equivalent of throwing away $1 billion. I could buy a lot of Prima Gems with $1 billion. Regardless, the whole thing is so gut-wrenching that the only thing I can do is slowly walk through the Matrix until we see Barbara 2's Tier 3 sub-army running through the streets. Somehow. Yeah, that makes sense. But behind us, a portal opens and out comes the biggest Baal I've ever seen in my life. Everyone's like, holy shit, Baal's so big! But Kazu's having none of it. He stops me from getting Mommy Tomoid, so Baal just says f it and sends me into the Shadow Realm again. And thus, Big Baal's Boss Bonanza 2 begins. But I've gotta be careful, because if you die in Euthymia, you die in real life too. Once again, the plot is declaring that I'm not supposed to win. But then I remember this charm that I got earlier. Pink-haired Fox Girl is here, and she's got backup. She's raiding Baal's channel with the entirety of Barbara 2's Twitch chat, and all these simps. She can hear the voices in her head. A torture I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, but it's necessary in order to see this plotline to conclusion. Baal's guard is down, so now I get to take this easy dub. Sure, the fight feels a bit too easy, but if it were too difficult, I would certainly complain on MiHoYo's forum. And with that fight finished, Baal decides to finally just stop the Vision Hunt decree, I guess. Huh, well, I'm sure glad that the Resistance arc sure didn't matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, that's pretty much it with the primary Inazuma content. I believe there's only one island left to be released, so I might make another video, or maybe 12 on Genshin. Real talk, I'd like to make more Genshin videos, but my channel is pretty ingrained into Nintendo and Nintendo-ish content. As you can see by the variety of games I make videos on, I can't ever decide what to dedicate my channel to. Maybe I'll make more Genshin vids, maybe I'll give up and make Nick All-Stars vids. I don't know, I'm actually genuinely curious to know what you guys think. Anyways, I can't wait to see what's next for Genshin. I just wonder what cool stuff they've got in store for us next patch. These new wolves look interesting, what do they do? No!